What's up? My civil, it's your boy back, my shirt waist, and I said you were used to. Bam, we're here today and we're checking out Last of Us 2 Honest Game trailers. Link in the description down below, please go check it out for yourselves. But if you guys could just hit that like, that share, that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications so you know when I'm dropping videos. But let's do it, let's go. Best time. Let's do it, let's go, what's up?
Rated S for
Spoilers.
This video is brought to you by Facebook Gaming. We're building the world's gaming community. Join us and help shape a creator-first gaming platform where
It's a
you
different
can build
voice.
your own community.
I haven't watched
around
Honest
the
Game
games
trailers
you
in a
love
minute.
to stream.
Or Honest trailers. It's not Epic Voice Guy. This is not Epic Voice Guy. But let's see what he got.
From the studio known for its cinematic masterpieces, and also this Pants Bandicoot, comes the sequel to one of the most highly regarded hallway shooters in gaming history that brings innovation to the series in a way the world has never seen before, by sucking every ounce of joy out of it. The Last of Us 2. Swallow the bitter pill that is The Last of Us 2, as Neil Druckmann reaches deep into his nihilism to bring you a brutal depiction of the evils of human nature once again. Except instead of any underlying message of hope, everyone just wants to torture and murder each other, as the sequel tries to capture the lightning in a bottle that was its predecessor, but manages to light it on fire instead, creating a Molotov cocktail of controversy, with rumors of extreme studio crunch times, massive story leaks, swapping out voice lines and character skins in trailers, extremely restrictive review agreements, and absolutely historic review bombing, as basically everyone on the internet decides that the game is either a monumental work of art or an absolute flaming pile of trash, when the real answer is somewhere in between. It's an unparalleled technical achievement that makes you feel like a pile of trash when you play it. Enter the overgrown wreckage of Seattle, as you explore a city turned into a lawless crater of destruction in the aftermath of a pandemic, much like actual modern Seattle. As you explore beautifully designed set pieces of dilapidated buildings, broken bridges, and dense forests that start off with a surprisingly open zone to explore at your own pace, before funneling you back into one-way corridors for the rest of the game, where you'll pick through
that was kind of weird.
closet so you can hoard half scissors like they're elixirs in a Final Fantasy, crack safes with the combinations that people helpfully left on notes 5 feet away, find your 18th pristine guitar so you can play your girlfriend the world's worst cover of Take On Me.
Aww, that's pretty good, man. I thought so.
And solve environmental puzzles designed so they can show off their rope physics tech, while the hint button screams at you to move along so you can get to the next cutscene about savagely beating someone to death, as the game's incredible acting, animation, and environmental design do their best to cover up for the fact that this entire series is basically Dark Uncharted. Crush yet another dog's skull in the graphic combat of The Last of Us 2, as the already gruesome executions of the previous games are given the best treatment money can buy, and your horrendous murders are rendered with extreme detail, which would probably be more effective if we hadn't all been desensitized for the past 2 decades to think this stuff is awesome. As you angrily MacGyver a variety of guns, bows, and makeshift explosives to smash your enemies into pulp, or go in quiet with the signature stealth mechanics that will have you hearing through walls like you're the f***ing Daredevil, to sneak up behind your foes and take them down quietly with your now infinite shiv.
There's some superpowers
and
involved here.
Spotted because of the 2-minute-long choking animation, and be forced to die-hard your way through the rest of the fight, mashing the dodge mechanic to duck and weave like a seasoned boxer if they get too close, until you get caught and watch yourself get butchered like poultry, or get your head mashed in with a hammer, or get your face eaten off, and so on and so forth, in unforgiving combat whose brutality is pretty satisfying despite its best intentions, and definitely the high point of an otherwise unrelenting slog through terrible circumstances and worse decisions that will have you saying, "Man, I can't wait till I get back to the part where I shotgun a guy in the face and his friends cry out his name in anguish." Experience the full misery of The Last of Us 2's narrative, as the sequel decides the tone and characters of the previous game just weren't up to par, and kills off one of the first game's main characters within the first couple of hours, setting off a John Wick-style revenge plotline that will have Ellie murdering hundreds in a quest for her father figure's killers. Until you get to the twist, and they have you play as Joel's murderer. Then expect you to be sympathetic because she decides to not kill some kids, I guess? Which would have had more impact if the game wasn't based on you mowing down literal platoons of people and then torturing them for information. Not to mention the extremely convenient encounters as secondary characters appear out of nowhere, then are taken out just as unceremoniously. That have little to no impact on the story because you never actually gave a about them in the first place. As The Last of Us
man,
2
I liked
desperately
Jesse.
struggles to be poignant by
Jesse
making
was
the
awesome.
character you control do dumb and unspeakable over and over again, and then tries to make you feel bad for controlling them. All while making the same tired point about revenge being bad that was cliche in biblical times. In a narrative that will leave you feeling as hollow, pointless, and nihilistic as the world of The Last of Us 2. I mean, at least the protagonist of Spec Ops: The Line had a way out. So shiv that clicker and get ready to feel like shit. In a technical marvel that's the closest that video games have ever come to the feeling of reading a great work of literature. In that it feels important, is occasionally fascinating, but mostly just sucks to get through. If you really want to save $60, just put The Walking Dead and The End of Old Yeller on at the same time. It should give you about the same experience. Starring Ellie Degenerate, Mazel
That's
Tov,
funny.
Rhonda
Okay, that's funny.
Rousey, Short Round, Hunger, Asia. Excuse me. He's not even. Okay. This is just getting ridiculous. Kill Jill 2, Depression Boogaloo.
Kill
You know, the most unbelievable thing about this game is trying to make us think that people are going to play the PS Vita during the apocalypse. We all know that the Game Gear is the post-apocalypse console of choice. It's a handheld and a brick.
Video games.
This video is brought to you by Facebook Gaming. We're building the world's gaming community. Join us and help shape a creator-first gaming platform where you can build your own community around the games you love to stream. I find your lack of faith disturbing. Coconuts aren't spices. Oh my. Look, a raptor of it. Finglury, Mugwolafla, Cthulhu, Relay,
Still want Epic Voice Guy because, you know, Epic Voice Guy is just amazing. And you should probably subscribe to Epic Voice Guy. I'm actually gonna go watch a couple videos of his. But this new guy, good job, man, good job. I give that to you, man. Good job. Yeah. Whew. If anybody's interested, I also made a whole video about the discussion of The Last of Us 2. So it's going to be in the info card right there right now, so you can go click on that if you want to know my full in-depth thoughts on the whole story and everything. But yeah, I'm a guy in the middle. I mean, you know, I see the problems, but I don't think it's terrible. And I think not self-plug, I think my video on the subject kind of highlights why this thing is, from a story aspect and from a game aspect, you know, controversies notwithstanding, because I didn't know there was a bunch of other stuff going on. I didn't know about that. But point being is, I think from a story standpoint, I've pretty much highlighted exactly why, not the typical reasons why, but exactly why I think this story is not going over so well with people. But anyway, yeah, this was a great video. So if you guys liked this video, my video that is, please hit that like, that share, that subscribe. I have another video up here, and I got another playlist down there, and you can click on my icon to subscribe. Remember to ring the bell if you do subscribe, and I'll see you all in another video, because my man gotta be out. Peace.